Torah study other than you. They aren't up here. We had quite a few people down there for Torah study. Well, maybe they'll still come up. There are cars? Yeah. Well, Kathy and Ed have the kiddush, so they're probably downstairs getting that ready, and I don't know what happened to Harriet and Mary Kay. Maybe they had to leave. So good morning, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. I hope you took the stapled sheet of handouts on your way in, because we'll be using, I think, one of those at some point this morning. And we are going to begin with Harachaman, page 609. It's part of the Birkat Hamazon. I think it's the second Hebrew line on the page. And I'll get there in just a second. Harachaman hu yanchilenu yom shekulo Shabbat u'menucha. 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 And if you turn to page 329, we'll just use the first few words of Yismechu for this version of it. Yismechu, Yismechu, b'malechutecha. Yismechu, Yismechu, b'malechutecha. Shomrei, Shomrei, Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Shomrei, Shomrei, Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Ba 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 ya ba 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 ba. One more time, now that you heard it once. Yismechu, Yismechu v'malechutecha. Yismechu, Yismechu v'malechutecha. Shomrei, Shomrei, Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Shomrei, Shomrei, Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Ya ba 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 ba, ya ba 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 ba, ya ba 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 ba. And we'll continue on 288 with Shabbat morning service number 2. 288 with Moda or Moda Ani Lefanecha. Thank God for giving us this new day of life. Moda Ani Lefanecha Melech Chai v'Kayam Shehechezarta b'nishmati b'chem la b'chem We're going to continue on the bottom of 289, and I'd like to invite anyone who would like to practice with wearing a talit today, and I'm going to suggest that you do that, Olivia, if you want to go out and get a talit from the hallway, any color you like, and we'll practice putting it on and saying the blessing. This is the learner's minyan, and I like to teach people how to do things that they may not be accustomed to. So, anyone else want to try wearing a talit? Go out and get one. And the blessing is at the bottom of 289. I'll wait till she comes back. Has she picked out her talit? Is it on order?
Yes.
Excellent. So everybody has to come back December 30th to see Olivia in her new talit and at her bat mitzvah. So let's read all together in the middle of 289 in the English, and then we'll do the blessing. Bless Adonai, O my soul. Adonai, my God, how great you are. You are robed in glory and majesty, wrapping yourself in light as in a garment, spreading forth the heavens like a curtain. So I believe yours has the blessing on it, right? The one you're holding. Does it have the vowels? All right, so you could read it from there or the prayer book if that Hebrew is easier for you or more readable. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehit atef batzitzit. We praise you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to wrap ourselves in the fringes. So then you put it over your head with the blessing next to your neck. And if you want to, you can wear it like a shawl, or you can fold it up a little bit smaller if that's more comfortable for you. We continue on page 290. Matovu. In Torah study, we were talking about how the first verse, Va'ani barov chastecha, has 10 words in it. And you can use those 10 words to count a minyan. I don't think we have 10 words in the room, so we'll see what happens. We can count Nicole, she's downstairs. Matovu, ohalecha, Yaakov. Ohalecha, Yaakov, Mishkanotecha, Yisrael. Matovu, ohalecha, Yaakov, ohalecha, Yaakov, Mishkanotecha, Yisrael. Va'ani merov chastecha avo v'techa eshtachaveh el hecha kodshecha Adonai, ahavti me'on, beitecha u'mishkan kevodecha. Va'ani אשתחווה ואכרע אברכה לפני אדוני עושי. מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ואני תפילתי לך אדוני את רצון אלוהים ברוב חסדך ענני באמת אישך. מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. We continue on page 291 as we read in English the blessing for our bodies. Together, blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe. With divine wisdom you have made our bodies, combining veins, arteries, and vital organs into a finely balanced network. Wondrous maker and sustainer of life, were one of them to fail, how well we are aware we would lack the strength to sustain life before you. Baruch atah Adonai rofecho basar umafli la'asot. And for the prayer for our souls, we turn to 292 and we join in singing. Elohai, Elohai, neshama, shenatata bi tehorahi. Elohai, Elohai, neshama, shenatata bi Ata birata, ata yetzarta, ata nafachta bi, ve'ata mishamra b'kirbi. Elohai, Elohai, neshama, shenatata bi tehorahi. And we join in Nisim B'chol Yom, starting on page 293 and forward, in the Hebrew and the English together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has given the mind the ability to distinguish day from night. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who opens the eyes of the blind. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who frees the captive. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who lifts up the fallen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who stretches the earth over the waters. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who strengthens our steps. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who clothes the naked. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who gives strength to the weary. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who removes sleep from the eyes, slumber from the eyelids. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who made me in the image of God. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me free. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me a Jew. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who girds Israel with strength. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who crowns Israel with splendor. And together on 297, Adonai, our God, make the words of your Torah sweet to us and to the house of Israel, your people, that we and our children may be lovers of your name and students of your Torah. We praise you, O God, teacher of Torah, to our people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, amelamed Torah, le'amo Yisrael. We continue on 298 as we join in Elu Devarim She'en Lahem Shi'ur. These are the commandments of our religion which are without measure. Elu Devarim She'en Lahem Shi'ur, Elu Devarim She'en Lahem Shi'ur, Elu Devarim She'en Lahem Shi'ur, Ve'elu Kibud Avayim Ugmilut Chasadim Vehashkamat Beit HaMidrash Shacharit Be'aravim Elu Devarim She'en Lahem Shi'ur, Elu Devarim She'en Lahem Shi'ur, Elu Devarim She'en Lahem Shi'ur, Hachnasat orchim Uvikur cholim Vehachnasat kala Ulvayat hamet Ve'un tfilah Ve'havat shalom Bein adam lechavero V'talmud Torah k'neged kulam V'talmud Torah k'neged kulam V'talmud Torah k'neged kulam Elu devarim she'en lahem shi'ur Elu devarim she'en lahem shi'ur Elu devarim she'en lahem shi'ur Ve'eloheim. We continue on 302. Psalm 92. Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat Tov lehodot l'Adonai U'lezamer l'shimcha Elyon U'lezamer l'shimcha Elyon Lehagid Baboker chastecha Ve'emunatcha baleilot Alei asor ve'aleina Ve'alei higai ולזמר לשמך עליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך אענה. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני מאוד, עמקו מחשבותיך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. We continue with Ashrei, the responsive psalm, all in Hebrew, and we'll slow down the congregational response part of it so that it's easier for you to catch on. Ashrei yoshvei veitecha, od yehalelucha selah. Ashrei ha'am shekacha lo. Ashrei ha'am sh'Adonai Elohav. Tehillah leDavid, aromimcha Elohai hamelech, v'avarcha shimcha le'olam va'ed. B'chol yom avarchecha, va'ahalelah shimcha le'olam va'ed. Gadol Adonai u'mehulal me'od, v'ligdulato ein cheker. Dor ledor yishabach ma'asecha, ugevuro techa yagidu. Hadar kevod hodecha, v'divrei niflotecha asicha, ve'ezuz norotecha yomeru, ugedulatecha asaprena. Zecherav tuvecha yabiu, v'tzidkatecha yiranenu. Chanun v'rachum Adonai, erech apayim ugadol chesed. Tov Adonai lakol, v'rachamav al kol ma'asav. Yoducha Adonai kol ma'asecha, v'chasidecha yivarchucha. Kevod malchutecha yomeru, ugevuratecha yedaberu. Lehodia livnei ha'adam gevurotav, uchavod hadar malchuto. Malchutecha malchut kol olamim, umemshaltecha bechol dor vador. Somech Adonai lechol hanoflim, v'zokef lechol hakefufim. Einei chol elecha yisaberu, ve'ata noten lahem et ochlam be'ito. Poteach et yadecha, umasbia lechol chai ratzon. Tzadik Adonai bechol derachav, v'chasid bechol ma'asav. Karov Adonai lechol korav, lechol asher yikra'uhu ve'emet. Ratzon yirei av ya'aseh, ve'et shavatam yishma v'yoshi'em. Shomer Adonai et kol ohavav, ve'et kol ha'risha'im yashmid. Tehillat Adonai yedaber pi, v'varech kol basar shem kodsho le'olam va'ed. Va'anachnu nevarech ya me'ata v'ad olam. Hallelujah. Page 312. Now we come to the part of the service where we do need a minyan. And there is a tradition that says that if someone who's not quite bar bat mitzvah age holds a chumash, we can count you in the minyan. So Olivia, if you would take a Torah commentary, either the red Eitz Chaim or the blue one, out and put it on your lap, then we've got a minyan. And we need one this morning because Camille's prepared to read Torah, and we want to take the Torah out of the ark and read from it. So otherwise we couldn't do that if we didn't have a minyan. And you're new to our community. You are? Gabriel Weiss. Well, thank you for being here because you helped make a minyan this morning. So are you new to Kenosha?
It's a good question. You can say yes.
Okay, I'll say yes. All right. So, and now that you're holding the chumash, Olivia, I'm going to ask you to put it on the chair and come up and actually lead us in some of the service because you're getting ready for your bat mitzvah. So you can leave the chumash on the chair and come up and join me. So we'll all rise and turn to 312 for Chatzi Kaddish.
Yikada v'yikada shemei rabba
Amen.
be'amadi v'rakirute v'mili malhute
B'chaye hon v'yomei hon u'v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'akala u'vizman kariv
ve'imaru
Amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach le'alam u'lam le'amaya
Yipara v'yishpa
Taba
v'yitraman v'yitnase v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitala shemeda kudasha
Barihu
le'ela min kol v'yirata v'shirata tushbehata v'nechemata dami rambiama ve'imaru amen.
Just stay up here with me for a while, okay? And let you lead the Barahu. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la.
Barehu et Adonai Hamevora Baruch Adonai Hamevora Hamevora Leolam Vaed Hamevora Hamevora Leolam Vaed
Baruch, sorry, on key. Baruch
Ata Adonai Eloheinu
melech
Ha'olam
Yotzer or uvorei Hoshe Osei Shalom uvorei et hakol. We join together with Olivia. Hameir la'aretz v'ladarim Alecha berachamim uvtuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reishit ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai kulam b'chokhma asita
mal'a ha'aretz kinyanecha titbarach Adonai Eloheinu al shevach ma'aseh yadecha ve'al me'orei or she'asita yefa'arucha selah or chadash al Zion ta'ir v'nizkeh hulanu mehera le'oro Baruch atah Adonai Yotzer HaMe'orot. Nice. Page 317. Will you lead us in the responsive reading there? One more page. 317.
O God, inspiration and guide for all, you have spoken it in 1,000 tongues for us to hear. In every land and every age, your children have heard you and imagined you in separate ways. And yet, O God, you are one unifier of humanity.
Together, we give thanks for the sages and teachers who bring us understanding of your will. Gratefully, we recall the lawgivers and prophets and psalmists and sages of Israel. And joyfully we remember that from the dawn of Israel's life, we would turn to you and find purpose.
May the teaching of our ancestors live on in our minds, in their passion for righteousness stir our hearts. Help us to live so that our daily conduct reveals the beauty and wisdom of your truth.
Baruch atah Adonai habocher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava. Lead us in Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
And please be seated, and Olivia will lead us in Ve'ahavta.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi misavecha hayom alevavecha vishinantam levanecha v'dibartam baha b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlaktecha v'derech u'shochbecha uv'chumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu totafot beinenecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha lema'an tizkaru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshi le'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lehiot lahem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem. Nice. You can be seated. Eshkoach. We'll start this month with Olivia leading us, and we'll end this month with Olivia leading us. We continue on 321. Together, sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles and earth protected and cherished,
a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. 322. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neder b'kodesh, nora tehilot osei felech, nora tehilot osei felech. Shira chadasha shibechu ge'ulim, l'shimcha al sfat hayam, yachad kulam hodu, והמליכו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך עולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. Rock of Israel, rise in support of Israel and redeem Judah and Israel as you promised. Our Redeemer Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Baruch Atah Adonai Gaal Yisrael. We continue on page 323 as we prepare for the tefillah section of the service. Adonai sifatai tivtachu fi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. 324. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Geula Libnei V'neihem, Lama'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Be'ezrat Sarah. Ata Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Ata Rav leHoshia, Mashiv HaRuach, Umorid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim, Ve'rofech Holim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Mi Chamocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Meimit Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, B'ne'eman Atah L'Hachayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye HaKol. 326. Nekadesh et shimcha ba'olam, kishem shemakdishim oto bishmei marom, kakatuv al yad nevi'echa, v'kara ze el ze ve'amar, kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzvaot, Melohol haaretz kevodo. Adir, adirenu Adonai, Adonenu madir, Shimcha bechol haaretz, Baruch kevod Adonai, Mimkomo. Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu hu Malkeinu, hu Moshi'enu v'hu Yashmi'enu, berachamav le'enei kol chai. Ani Adonai Elohechem, yimloch Adonai le'olam, Elohayich Zion, ledor vador, hallelujah. Ledor vador nagid gud lecha, ulenetzach netzachim kedushatcha nagdish, v'shivchacha Eloheinu mipinu lo yamush leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. We are seated. And we turn to 329. Yismechu v'malachutecha shomrei 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 Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha shomrei 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 Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshei Shvi'i Shabbat, Kulam Yisbehu V'yitangu mituvecha Shabbat. Yismechu V'malachutecha Shomrei 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 Shabbat V'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha shomrei 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 Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. V'hashvi'i ratzita bo v'kidashto Shabbat chemdad yamim oto karata Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha shomrei 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 Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha shomrei 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 Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Zecher Lema'aseh v'reishit Shabbat. Zecher Lema'aseh v'reishit Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha shomrei 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 Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha shomrei 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 Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Together at the bottom of 329, the meaning of Shabbat is to celebrate time rather than space. 6 days a week we live under the tyranny of things in space. On Shabbat, we try to become attuned to holiness in time. It is a day on which we are called upon to share in what is eternal in time, to turn from the results of creation to the mystery of creation, from the world of creation to the creation of the world. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. 330. Retzei Adonai Eloheinu be'amacha Yisrael utfilatam be'ahava tekabel utihil ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael. Amen. Yisrael Amecha. Baruch atah Adonai she'otecha levadecha be'yirah navod. We continue on 332, and we're going to each participate in reading this prayer for Thanksgiving, Modima Nachnu Lach. Have each of you read a section as it comes around to you in English, of course, and if you want to skip, that's fine, just say pass. So can I start with you, Camille, at the bottom?
For the expanding grandeur of creation, worlds known and unknown, galaxy and non-galaxies, filling us with awe and challenging our imaginations.
Modim anachnu lach. Gabriel, would you like to read? The bottom of 332 for this fragile planet Earth. Modim anachnu lach. Nicole?
For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements.
Modim anachnu lach. Susan? Modim anachnu lach. Aaron?
For high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of news not shared.
Modim anachnu lach. Olivia? Modim anachnu lach.
For human liberties and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose.
Modim anachnu lach. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, ulachana el hodot. Page 334. Sim shalom, tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim, v'rachamim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yisrael amecha, barcheinu yotzreinu, kulanu ke'echad, be'or panecha, ki be'or panecha natata lanu, Adonai Eloheinu. Sim shalom, tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim, v'rachamim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yisrael amecha, Torat chaim, ve'ahavat chesed, ve'ahavat chesed, u'tzedaka uveracha, ve'rachamim, ve'chaim, ve'shalom. Sim shalom, tova uvracha, chen v'chesed ve'rachamim, rachamim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yisrael amecha, ve'tov be'enecha levarech et amecha Yisrael, b'chol eit u'v'chol sha'a bishlomecha. Sim shalom, tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim v'rachamim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yisrael amecha. Baruch ata Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. We take this time now for silent prayer and meditation. יהיו לרצון אמרי פי, והגיון ליבי לפניך. יהיו לרצון אמרי פי, והגיון ליבי לפניך. אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי וגואלי. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri V'goali. We continue now with the Torah service, page 362. And either Aaron or Ethan, or both of you, would you like to come up to do the Aliyah and carry the Torah? Awesome. I will get out your card with your Hebrew name. I should know it. Aryeh, right? Yeah. I'll find you here. Okay. That's right. All right, and we'll ask the congregation to rise as we take the Torah from the ark. And we join in singing on page 362. Ein kamocha va'Elohim Adonai ve'ein kemasecha. Malchutcha malchut kol olamim umemshaltecha b'chol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. Page 364. Ki mitzion teitzei Torah, Ki mitzion teitzei Torah, Udvar Adonai miYerushalayim. And this scroll is the secret of our people's life from Sinai until now. Its teaching is love and justice, goodness and hope. Freedom is its gift to all who treasure it. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah. Israel, Bigdu Shato. Page 366 together. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. In English, hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Turn toward the ark. Gadlul Adonai iti, uneromema Shemo yachdav. Lecha Adonai hagedula v'hagevura v'hatiferet v'hanetzach v'hahod. Ki chol v'shamayim uva'aretz, ki chol v'shamayim uva'aretz, lecha Adonai hamamlacha, ve'amit naseh lechol lerosh. Go and have a seat in the chair. Al shlosha devarim, ha'olam homed. Al shlosha devarim, ha'olam homed. Al ha'torah, al ha'avodah, ve'al gemilut chasadim. Al ha'torah, ve'al avodah, ve'al gemilut chasadim. Al shlosha devarim, ha'olam homed. Al shlosha devarim, ha'olam homed. And we call up Camille Bluestein to be our Torah reader this morning, and she also has a few words she wants to say about the Torah portion. So Ethan, you can stay right here. You'll do the blessing when she's done talking about the Torah portion. And I'll just make sure you know where you are here, too. But yeah, Conan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Now,
first you
do
can
you want-
talk.
Okay.
Let's go to this mic over here.
Okay. Today I'll be reading chapter 32 in Genesis, or Barishit, verses 23 through 30. In the Hertz Chumash, this begins on page 124. That's the part I'm reading. In the Eitz Chaim, it begins on page 200. I find that the biblical Hebrew is very complex for me. I used my limited Hebrew as well as some other sources, other texts. A suggestion, don't use Google Translate if you want to translate biblical Hebrew. It doesn't work. I remember since I was a very young person, preachers that knew the Bible backwards and forwards, they would spout out these words. And they knew what God wanted. They knew everything. And when I study Hebrew, or when I research the text, I don't feel like that at all. I feel like I'm bumbling around. So I feel a little different. I'm not as sure as they are about themselves. We're doing the text Vayishlach today. Jacob returns to his land. He's lived with Laban, his father-in-law, for 20 years. He struggles with a mysterious stranger and prevails. He gets a new name, and he's going to be reunited with his brother Esau. The part of the story that I'm reading, Jacob takes his family in the night, and he crosses the Yabok tributary. That is a tributary that's leading into the Jordan River. If you look on a map, it's between the Dead Sea and the Kinneret. It's dangerous to cross at night. They put flat stones out and timber, and then they put boards across that as a pathway. Jacob takes the whole family across, and then he and then he stays alone and fights with a mysterious stranger. This stranger must escape before daybreak. The patriarchs tell us that this stranger is an angel. The prophet Hosea says this stranger is an angel. The stranger wants to be released by daybreak, and Jacob says, I'm not going to release you unless you bless me. So he blessed him by giving him a new name, Israel. What does Israel mean? Israel can mean champion of God, but the meaning that I kind of agree with is one who struggles with God. Jews have always contended with God, insisting that he live up to his proclaimed standards of justice and kindness. So struggles with God is where I believe the meaning of that name is. Jacob has the name change tells us there's a crisis in Jacob's spiritual development. That name has a negative connotation. It means follow behind, supplant, overreach, defraud. This man becomes the patriarch of a nation. Jacob outgrows being a trickster. Remember how he deceived his father? There are many interpretations of the text I am reading. Rashbam says that God sends an angel to prevent Jacob from running away. After all, Esau's a big guy. May have a bad temper, I don't know. So he's really afraid, most likely, of going back and meeting him. Then another interpretation is that Jacob's wrestling with his conscience. Until now, let's face it, he's a liar, a runaway, a cheater. I mean, he isn't really that good of a person. So maybe this is what's happening. Another interpretation. Maybe he's fighting with Esau's guardian angel. Maybe he's fighting with a demonic guardian of the river. After all, it was a rough river. It's really tough to cross it. Maimonides tells us none of this happened. It's a prophetic vision. There's a human allegory that goes with this story. You know, we all face crisis, all of us. And before we face a crisis, we have, we have a lot of stress, maybe have nightmares, we have anxiety. Maybe that's how Olivia feels. I know she's got, before how you feel, because you got to go up there and do the service. So we know what this means. So we're a lot like Jacob. We're not really much different. My favorite part of this text, why do you ask my name? Jacob asked the angel his name. Now the patriarchs say, well, all angels were anonymous before the Babylonian exit. But I kind of disagree with this. I think the angel was angry with them because if you think of the indigenous people, think of the primal cultures, think of the ancient cultures, names are very important to them. You get a name when you're born. You might get another name later in your life. You may change your name. It's not, they don't just give their children silly names. Then I looked up some silly names that people are giving their children nowadays. Disney, RZA, Apple, Bluesy Bell. Now, if I was one of these kids, I would divorce my parents for giving me a name like this. So I think what's going on here, as this angel, Jacob's asking his name because he believes, I think, that he will have power over him. This is an angel. He could have power over him. And I think a lot of the ancients thought that if you met a supernatural being and you knew that supernatural being's name, you had a power over him. So that's what I think is going on here. Thank you.
Lots to think about there.
Let's see, I've got to get the...
You see where you are?
Yeah, I think...
I can make sure. And we'll call up Ethan by his Hebrew name.
I think, oh yeah, here it is.
Got it? Okay.
Yeah.
So for the Aliyah this morning, we call to the Torah Ethan Marshall. Ya'amod Aryeh Eitan Ben Menachem Yitzchak Yonah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamevarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayikam v'layla hu vayikach et shetei nasav et shetei shifkotav v'red akarasar yaladav vayavor et mavar yabog vayikakem vayaverim et hanakal vayaver et avshalo vayivater Yaakov lavado Vayomer ish imo. Sorry. Vayavek ish imo. Yeah, sorry. Vayavek ish imo ad alod hashakar. Vayiraki lo yako lo. Vayiga bekaf yereko. Vatega kaf yerek Yaakov. Vahav. Bahaviko imo vayomer shalkeni ki alav hashakar vayomer lo ashalekaka ki imbaraktani vayomer lav ma shemeka vayomer Yaakov vayomer lo Yaakov yomer ochinka ki im Israel ki sarita im Elohim vaymanashim batokal vayishal Yaakov Vayomer higada na shameka vayomer lama ze vayomer lama ze he shall
Tish'al
lishmi vayevereko to sham.
Blessing after.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'hayei olam natan b'tohenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
She's going to translate it, and then I'm going to have you hold the Torah afterward.
Now we're talking about Jacob over here, and Jacob arose, and he crossed his family across the tributary. I'm sorry, I'm getting really goofed up today. I'm really sorry. No, here it is. Yeah, okay. And Jacob arose in the night, and he took his 2 wives and his 2 handmaidens, and he I know. 2 wives and 2 handmaidens.
The 11.
And his, that's right, okay. Oh, yeah, I got it. And his 11 children. And he crossed the stream of the Yabok, the tributary Yabok. And he took, and he crossed over the stream, and he crossed over his possessions that were with him. And Jacob stayed alone, and he wrestled with a man until almost dawn. Now this man, this person he's wrestling with, is we're talking about him. And he saw that he could not prevail against him. And he touched the hollow of his thigh. Now, it's a lot more than a touch, because he knocked his thigh like right from the hip bone. I'm not a doctor, but it's like he dislocated the thigh. And he strained his thigh. And Jacob struggled with him. So he's continuing to fight. In fact, after this, he limps around. And he said, "Release me, as it's almost dawn." And he said, "I will not release you unless you bless me." And he said to him, "What's your name?" And he said, "Jacob." And he said, "You will no longer be called Jacob. Your name will be Israel, as you have persisted with God." Now, God here is in the plural. It's almost like supernatural beings. And with men, remember Laban and Esau? "And you have prevailed." And Jacob asked him, saying, "Please, tell me your name." And he said, "Why is this that you ask my name?" And he blessed them there. Now, he stopped right there. He didn't give him his name. He never did. As far as I could tell, he didn't give him his name.
Correct. Yasher koach. I like it that your translation is also a commentary. Fantastic. Fantastic, Camille. Yasher koach. We rise as we lift the Torah. Want your notes back? V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai biyad Moshe. V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai biyad Moshe. You may be seated. If you sit back, I'm just going to hold it for a second so it straightens out. Sit back comfortably and I'll give it to you. There we go. Are you good? Yep. Okay, thank you. We continue now with Mishaberach, page 371. And as we say the Mishaberach this morning, we think of congregation members in need of healing. Linda Salzberg, Leah Ruth Bat Yaakov Helene, Harriet Witter, Shana Hana Halevi Bat Yaakov Pesach, Lisa Alexander Leah Michal Bat Rezel Chaya, Skelly Warren Yaakov Ben Yaakov, Mary Beth Maikrut, Esther Bat Avraham Sarah, Naomi Weissman Zabler Naomi Bat Schreiger Feivel Miriam, Barney Lavin, Baruch Eliyahu Ben Avraham Sarah, William Jewel Yisrael Ben Avraham Sarah, Stephen St. Amond, Chagai Mibeit Avraham Sarah, Nancy Sedlov, Nechama Bat Mitatyahu Sarah. If there are others you would like to mention who are in need of healing, please do so at this time. Any others? We also pray for all those injured and suffering physically and emotionally in Israel and Gaza. We pray for healing for those who struggle against addiction, alcoholism, and mental illness. And we pray for courage for those in recovery. We join together praying for renewal of body and renewal of soul. Mishaberach avotenu mikor habracha le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mikor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. At this time, I'd like to call Olivia back up because she is learning the Haftarah blessings, and she's going to do them with me today. It's not her bat mitzvah yet, so she doesn't have to do it solo yet. And the Haftarah portion actually Camille, you referenced Hosea. There are several different haftarahs depending on the part of the Jewish community you're in. And if you open up the Hertz Chumash, you'll see that there are two offered for this Shabbat. And I'm reading the one that is from Hosea. There's also one from Obadiah. So in the Hertz, you can find what I'm going to be reading on 135. It is not in the Eitz Chaim. They chose the Obadiah reading and they didn't put in the Hosea reading at all. But I'm going to be reading it from a text that has more contemporary English, the Reform Movement's Haftarah commentary. So even if you're following in the Hertz, it may seem, the English is going to seem different. So it's from Hosea. I'm reading from chapter 12. So if you are in the Hertz, there's a little bit of chapter 11, and then chapter 12 starts. That's where I'm going to be reading verses 1 through 7. And Hosea lives during the time of the divided kingdom, Israel in the north, Judah in the south, and he's preaching a critical message to the people of Israel that they have gone away from the following God, that they've worshipped other gods, that they should return to the God of Israel. And in this section, he references this story that Camille read today from the struggling, Jacob struggling with the angel. And you heard her say in the story that Jacob gets his name changed to Israel. So here, Hosea is preaching to the nation of Israel, and he's referencing this story of wrestling with an angel and prevailing and calling upon the people to return to God. So we'll do the blessing before. Baruch atah
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratzah v'divreihem hane'emari be'emet Baruch atah Adonai haboher b'Torah u'Moshe avdo u'Yisrael amot u'v'nei ha'emet v'sedek.
And you'll note that here, the northern kingdom of Israel is called Ephraim, and the southern kingdom is Judah. Ephraim surrounds me with lies, the house of Israel with deceit, while Judah stands firm with God and keeps faith with the holy angels. Ephraim tends the wind, pursuing the east wind, ever multiplying falsehood and violence, now making a covenant with Assyria and then sending oil to Egypt. The Eternal has arraigned Judah and will punish Jacob according to his ways, repaying him according to his deeds. In the womb he seized his brother's heel. Grown up, he wrestled with a divine being. He wrestled with an angel and prevailed. He cried out and entreated him, who met him at Bethel, and there spoke with us. But in truth, it was the Eternal, the God of heaven's hosts, whose designation is the Eternal. Now then you must truly turn back to your God, hold fast to steadfast love and justice, and wait continually for your God. V'Adonai Elohei Tzvaot, Adonai Zichro, ve'ata belohecha tashuv, chesed u'mishpat shmor, V'kaveh el Elohecha tamid.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Tzor kol haolamim Tzadik b'chol ha'odot Ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer ve'oseh, ha'medaber u'mekadim, she'kol divarav emet v'tzedek. Al ha'torah ve'al ha'amrodah ve'al ha'nevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh she'matatanu Adonai Eloheinu Likdusha v'linuha lechabarodod u'letifaret ahakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim u'mevarchim otah Yitbarach Shimcha B'tfi Kol Hai Tamid Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
So today was Kita Hay participating on the Bima, and that's Kita Hay right there. One student in Kita Hay. Yasher koach. So before we return the Torah to the Ark, I'd like to turn for special prayers for our nation and for Israel. Pages 376 and 377. And then that we'll be using your packet that you picked up when you came in. Prayer for Israel's defense forces as unfortunately, hostilities have resumed in Israel and Gaza. So if you want to flip to the page for that in your packet, it's on the fourth page, the front of the fourth page. At the bottom of the page it says, Community, page 43. Prayer for Israel's defense forces. But first I'm on 376. Prayer for our country. Thus says Adonai, this is what I desire, to unlock the fetters of wickedness, to untie the cords of lawlessness, to let the oppressed go free, to break off every yoke. Share your bread with the hungry and take the wretched poor into your home. When you see the naked, give clothing, and do not ignore your own kin. Together, if you banish the yoke from your midst, the menacing hand, the evil speech, if you offer compassion to the hungry and satisfy the famished creature, then your light shall shine in darkness. And for the state of Israel in 377, Avinu Shabbat Shalom, O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love, spread over it the canopy of your peace, send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there, and let us say, Amen. And then if you'll take up the prayer for the Israel Defense Forces, we'll read that together. May the one who brought blessings to our fathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and to our mothers, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless the soldiers of Israel's defense forces and all who stand guard in order to protect the land of Israel. Give them strength against our enemies and strengthen their spirit to preserve their highest moral values at this time of trial. Protect them from all troubles and afflictions so that they will return in peace and joy to their families and friends, and that they may prosper as human beings and citizens in their land. And let us say, Amen. And we continue now as we return the Torah to the Ark, turning in our prayer books to 374 as we rise.
Hodo al eretz v'shamayim vayarem
keren le'amo, tehila lechol chasidav, livnei Yisrael am kerovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah. For I have given you good instruction, do not abandon my Torah. Eitz chaim hi lamachazikim ba, v'tomecha me'ushar deracheha, darchei noam, v'chol netivoteha shalom. Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva chadesh, chadesh yameinu, chadesh yameinu kikedem. And we remain standing as we continue with Aleinu 586 at the bottom of the page. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'teit gedula liotzer breishit, shelo asanu kigoye ha'aratzot, velo samanu kamishpechot ha'adama, shelo san chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Yesh koach. Thank you for helping this morning. Please be seated. Page 589. Al ken nekabel achad Adonai Eloheinu, lirot mehera b'tiferet uzecha, l'takeno lam b'malchut Shaddai. Together, Adonai, our God, how soon we hope to behold the perfection of our world, guided by sacred covenant drawn from human and divine meeting. Page 591. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech ha'kol ha'aretz b'yom ha'hu yihye Adonai echad u'shemo echad. We continue with a meditation prior to the Kaddish prayer on page 595. And I invite those who are observing a yard site on this Shabbat or who have experienced the death of a dear one in recent weeks or months to rise during this meditation. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. On this Shabbat at Beth Hillel Temple, we mark the yard sites of Sid Salzberg, Cyril Gordon, Bruce B. Zobler, Benjamin Berenson, Samuel Sakol, Rose Salzberg, Emmanuel Newman, Monty Thornton, Faye D. Reinhers, Ludwig Moser, Ben Katic, and Ida Katic. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing. We turn to page 598 and all rise for Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabah, be'alma divarach yerutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayedecho beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imeru amen. Yehei shemei rabah mevarach la'alam u'lamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh V'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yitalal, shemei d'kudesha b'richu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma v'imeru amen. Yehi shalom rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imeru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, huya aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imeru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and comfort all the bereaved among us, and let us say. Please be seated. Call up Nicole Magdovitz from our Leadership Council to share a welcome message.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
On behalf of the Leadership Council of Beth Hallel Temple, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all that have joined us either this Shabbat, either in person or on the live stream. Yashrikoa to Olivia Marshall for her participation on the Bima this morning. We thank Camille Bluestein for reading Torah and giving the Devar Torah. All are welcome to join in a Kiddush Bagel brunch immediately following services. We thank Ed and Kathy for hosting the Kiddush. Feel free to take one of or more of the blue ribbons for the return of the hostages in Gaza as you pass the photos in the corridor. We are relieved that the hostages we have chosen to highlight, Danielle and Amelia Aloni and Sharon and Noan Agdori and 106 others have been released. We will maintain our blue ribbon empty chairs until all are released. Other temple information is found on the temple website. Any news with current information was sent on Thursday. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. Our closing song will be Adon Olam, page 625. 625.
Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra, La'et Nasa, B'chetzo Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'acharei Kichlot HaKol, Levado Yimloch Nora Adon Olam, V'hu Haya, V'hu Hova, V'hu Yiyah B'tifara Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, La'et Nasa, B'chetzo Kol, Azai Melech Shebo Nikra Adon Olam, V'hu Echad, V'ein Sheni, Laham Shilo, Lahachbira Adon Olam, B'li Reshit, B'li Tachlit, V'lo Ha'oz V'ha'misra Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, La'et Nasa, B'chetzo Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'hu Eli, V'chai Goali, V'tzur Hevli, V'et Sara Adon Olam, V'hu Nisi, Umanosli, Manat Kosi B'yom Ekra Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, La'et Nasa, B'chetzo Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon, B'yado Akid Ruchi, V'et Ishan Ve'a'ira Adon Olam, Ve'im Ruchi, Geviati, Adonai Li V'lo Ira Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, La'et Nasa, B'chetzo Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam. Shabbat Shalom.